All right, so we are back with Pat Mahomes completions in the Super Bowl. The video is linked in the description if you want to watch the incompletions. And again, this is just for the hardcore football fans out there that just want to, really dive into the tape. So it's nothing against the 49ers, nothing against Mahomes. Just looking at the Super Bowl a little more in depth and seeing kind of what went down. So interestingly enough, there were 14 incompletions. And so I thought like, okay, that's, Pat Mahomes take care of the ball pretty well. So I can understand that. Looking at the completions, there's only 26. So there's not much more completions than there were incompletions. So, and I, again, I watched the game in real time, but like looking back at this film and stuff, it really sinks in how like close this game was somewhat. Cause it was like 2010 for a really long time. And so it really sinks in like the burst that the Chiefs had, towards the end of the game. And so, we'll probably see that because in the incompletions, there were a lot early on in the game, and then we kind of had a jump after that. So, yeah, we're just going to roll through these. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get this started. All right, so in the first quarter here is 3-0, and I fully expect to see some quick hitters. All right, so we got two tight ends, play action slide. So they're in the shotgun. So they bring a tight end over to have trips. Just play action slide, and then there's going to be a little curl there. So get the linebackers out the way. And they actually had whoever 56 was could have been in position. This is him worrying more about Pat Mahomes than the receiver. But that's that run threat that you have. And I forgot. Let's see. So this was first down. So it's first down. That's tough. Put the defender in the bind. Now, really, 54, Wagner is the one that should have been on that. Because then he could punch to the quarterback. But, they got Kelsey on mine. Well, that wasn't even Kelsey, but that was the tight end. But either way, just a good play for a guy with a big arm. And again, Mahomes knowing how to threaten the defense and to get them on their heels before he makes his throw. So 1st and 10. And then we saw a trend in the incompletions. A lot of them came on like 2nd and short or 1st and short. All right, play action. Now, that's not really the play you want to do. Now, Mahomes has the arm strength, we know, and Tyreek Hill has the ball skills, but you don't really want to throw that. So people will call this a RPO. At like a lot of the coaches I talk to, we agree. Like the NFL, there's no RPO. It's just play action. They never throw the ball. So at this point, nobody has vacated, including the corner. So you don't want to throw that slant. In a true RPO, when you're reading, either probably this guy, because a lot of people are moving, so he motions. So I would assume they're reading here. I would probably read here, whoever my nickel is, the apex player. And if he vacates, then I want to throw that slant. Now he sits, he doesn't vacate. I'm not throwing that slant. I'm handing the ball off. But Tyreek makes a good play, and again, like Mahomes' arm is just really, he's got one of those arms where he could fit it in there. Yeah, that's a tough play. They were in a good defense against that one. All right, so 1st and 10 again. So 3 in a row, 3 completions in a row are going to be 1st and 10. Were they running the ball that much? I don't even remember that. All right, so same thing. This is an RPO. This is definitely just one of those dart plays, whatever you want to call it. So play action to hold the linebacker. And again, that's tough, especially with these linebackers. They're good in coverage, but good timing, good rhythm, good strength. You could get that in there, especially to a guy that you trust like Travis Kelce. And as much as like Mahomes takes care of the ball, he is a gunslinger. People do have to, like, at the end of the day, if I had to label him, he is a gunslinger. All right, 1st and 10 once again. So that's 4 in a row. Again, so some of the things you can learn while watching film is just trends. So they motion around. Okay, I don't really count this as a completion, even though we know statistically they do. So let's just see what, I'm just curious. Why not? So they start off in trips, close, motion, somebody comes down. Obviously, they see something in the defensive alignment that they like. We see movement. And I love it, man. That's the chess match. You don't know, like, defense can have a million things called depending on formation and whatnot. Then they just leave one person. Honestly, if that's not Tyreek Hill or, like, you know, one of those real good run guys, I don't know that doesn't get blown up. All right, so 2nd and 7. Looks like they come back. Technically, that was a run, in my opinion. So we got trip, same formation, flipped. That's an interesting play, because it looked good until everybody ran into each other. So they blitzed off the edge. That's why this is open. Let's see if he runs. No. That's not really a China. I don't know what that is. That's kind of like an inverted China. So usually this person will run a flag route, corner route, and then these two would come inside. But instead of going flag, the receiver runs across the middle on a post. And then these two aren't really in routes. They look just more like over routes. But then you got another over route, two really coming at, like, and it's funny because the more I watch this, the more I think about some of the issues I talk about with Matt Nagy. But anyway, so those players all run into each other. But you got this blitz, 5-man protection. And this man coverage, and that's what positioning can get you, especially with big body players. Because the running back goes out immediately. You got 5-man protection. And it's a blitz, 5-man blitz. Pocket's not great, but yeah, that's a hell of a throw. That's a hell of a laser in a tight pocket around the trees, as they say. All right, so 1st and 10. We're in the 2nd quarter. 7-3. You just gotta admire Pat Mahomes more and more when you watch things. So they're under center, motioning, play action. And he gets hit. That looked weird. I didn't even see the ball come out. So they play action. We got one here. Tyreek Hill. So really you got a switch play. Tyreek Hill's going to threaten up with the vertical and then take it across the middle. And really, I mean, it's a switch play from afar because then the other person comes and switch. Usually it's a 2x2 type of thing. But they sneak Sammy Watkins underneath and then switches up. So the deep coverage is gone. Middle coverage, specs help. And so you just got that dead zone. I'm more interested in him getting hit and still making that throw. How did he get that downfield? Alright, so a little lazy play action there. In the pocket. Reloading. Hitches up to get away from the rush. That's talent, man. That's serious talent. Good anticipation, good arm strength. Alright, I think it was 1st and 10. Empty set. They just do a little spread bubble game. And really, that could have been a tunnel screen. I don't know why it wasn't. Because it wasn't bubble because you got the lineman coming down. So really, I feel like Hardman should have came here and came up the wave. Because it was 2 for 2. I don't know. Maybe that was a miscommunication. But to me, that looks like that should have been a tunnel screen. Instead of a little quick now route. But again, I'm starting to remember, especially when you watch Mahomes, you start to remember why people really fall in love with the strong arm quarterbacks. 3rd and 5. I mean, every offseason, draft season, I'm like, dude, why are people making all these excuses because this person has a big arm? And you see guys like this, and this is why. It just allows you to do more. So this was simple. Simple little drag. Let me see. Because was it 2nd and 5 or 3rd and 5? I can't see the sticks. Alright, so 3rd and 5. Because I feel like they didn't get this one. If I remember correctly. So motion went in 2x2. And we're going to have this drag by Sammy Watkins. And really almost... Well, did they count that complete? I guess really is like a pick route. Because he's just going to come right behind. And really, actually, it wasn't. Like, Kelsey did not run a route at all. He straight blocked and just demolished this dude. That's a pick route. Freaking hate pick routes. I don't care what team it is. It could be the Bears. I hate pick routes. So I'm pretty sure that's where they were going the whole time. I don't know. I mean, obviously they counted it as complete, but I don't know, man. Was that complete? I mean, I don't think it was a fumble. Ground can't cause a fumble, but did he have enough steps? Anyway, 1st and 10. 10 to 13. So back in their own area. Trips closed. Little play action. Little dump off. Let's see. See what we got out of this trips. They destroyed Tyreek. I don't know what he was running. Curl route. We got a little post route. Yeah, I'm not sure what any of that was supposed to be. They kind of destroyed it. And so I'm assuming it was something to Tyreek that got really rerouted. And that's the power of rerouting. People don't talk about that enough in defensive play. Rerouting is huge. You got 5 yards to have contact. Use it. So little play action. Tyreek gets thrown off. Linebackers. And they got 3 linebackers out there. Then you get a little pressure by D Ford. Just has to dump the ball off. So far you didn't see any really big plays. And that was one of the things that really kept the 49ers in it. So 1st and 10, the second quarter. Little doubles, play action. Not bad. So you got a little deuce close, doubles close. Play action here. I don't even know what he was supposed to be running. So that's not a flood concept, but you do flood this area. So I'm not using the flood routes, but they flooded this area. A lot of action coming that way. So just left person open. But it's a tight end. I don't know. 41 should have been on that a little better. But that's kind of a one side of the field read. Obviously, they wanted to go to Travis Kelce there. A lot of short area stuff. Just kind of, I wouldn't say dinking and dunking. People talk about that like that's negative. That's good West Coast. All right, so we got our doubles again. Ace formation. Little play action and yeah, so if that's Hill, I'm guessing they were worried about the speed. Absolutely. Quick stop ability. Let's see what they had on the backside. Same thing, just two deep curls. And when you got that type of speed, then it's real hard for corners to react to that. So this is a good rhythm throw. And honestly, I would throw this a lot more because especially now to me, and I don't know like the proper name of the handoffs, but instead of the actual play action or the one where you show the ball, I would just do the one where you keep the ball, dip the shoulder, because that keeps the quarterback in rhythm. That holds the linebackers for a second. You set back up and throw that curl on time. I would do that a lot more, to be honest with you. With speed guys, that's what you got. And, you know, defender or defenses like this, they want to rally to the ball. They don't want to give up anything. So 3rd and 14. So they made some type of play. Behind the green zone, as I call it. So little play action, little screen. They stuffed that out. Fast acting defense. Again, cheap completions to this point. Not to say that it's bad, but you know, a little bit of cheap completions. So 1st and 10, backed up in their own area. Under center, play action. Has to eliminate. And we talked about this with the incompletions. What you do when you get that pass rush enough to move the quarterback is you eliminate half his options, because now he only can look at one side of the field. And that's what you do when you got that quick pass rush. And receiver honestly does a good job of uncovering and finding open space. And this is modern day football in real time. Like, I don't mean modern day, oh, it's a passing league, oh, spread offense. No, I mean modern day mindset for a quarterback is to extend the play and let receivers scramble drill. And before that wasn't the case. So I like this part of modern day football. So he punches and Richard Sherman just loses his man at the last second. And boom. That literally right there sums up exactly what every team is trying to move to with their quarterbacks. So 1st and 10, 3rd quarter. We got trips left, and they like this formation. They ran this a lot with tight end ISO on the backside. And again, I don't know about that play. You really forced that to Kelce there because there's 2 defenders there. But they really like this formation, and really they want to get Tyreek and Travis in positions where they can force them the ball and be playmakers. So we got a little flat here. Curl. Middle curl, I knew it because that's what the Bears run. And I don't know if that was supposed to be a curl or a whip route because it looks like he was going back outside. But now that one, I think Mahomes just kind of force fed that. It looks like he was just looking at that the whole way. And again, you get some yards, some West Coast. All right, so 3rd and 6. One of the few money plays. We saw the earlier one with Watkins. All right, so we got 2x2 sprint out. That's it looked like he dropped it, but these are completions, so of course he didn't drop it. Interesting, because they're pressed up. Oh, they do a rub. Freaking hate rub and pick routes. I'm like, why is he so open there in press coverage? Hate that. I hate it, hate it, hate it. You rarely see, I wouldn't say rarely because I don't watch enough of individual clips to say this, but I've rarely seen defenses do IOUs inside out. This shouldn't happen. Tyreek runs off 2 people, and that stuff shouldn't be allowed. This is not a Chiefs problem. This is an NFL problem. That's so cheap. That is cheap. That is absolutely cheap. Look, if you know okay, I'm gonna line up in this certain formation. In this formation, they like to play this coverage, or in this certain down distance, they like to play this coverage. So I know they like to play cover 3, or if we motion such and such here, they're gonna roll him down, do cover 3. So we're gonna have a quick out, and we're gonna pick up. Like, that's football. This whole let me run into 2 defenders so I can illegally let him be wide open. That's not football. That's not strategy. That's not thinking. I personally hate that cheap crap from the spread. Like, honestly, RPOs, bubble screens, down routes, all that. Look, if you're a good defense and you leverage, you can defend that. This stuff is illegal. You can't defend people illegally doing things. All right, so 2nd and 10, almost the end of the third, and one of the few passes on long yardage. Trips. And again, you got Mahomes staring down Kelsey. And this is about trust. Let me add this. I don't want to get too deep into it, too deep in Bears, but a lot of people complain about our tight end situation and stuff. And I'm like, the quarterback never gives our tight end a chance. And it's like, Kelsey is good, don't get me wrong, but they feed him the ball. They feed him opportunities, not because he's destroying people, but because the quarterback trusts him. And that's why tight ends became big in the first place. They just trust them more, or whoever it is, whoever you feed the ball to is someone you trust. And so, yes, they got good skills, especially after the catch. They're smart. But a lot of times it's just developing a trust and getting force-fed opportunities. So anyway, he whips out a little bit, leaves that open, which probably would have got you the first, to be honest. But Mahomes was looking Kelsey the whole way. And he gets close. I don't think he got that first down, but he got close. And so he had some time here. And it was a blitz. And I mean, Mahomes stays calm, man. He stays calm in the storm. So they definitely sent 5 with that D-liner there. So I don't see Joey Bosa, but stays in. And again, that strong arm. All right, so 2nd and 10, we're in the 4th quarter. Towards the end of this, motion back, we got trips again. And just a curl route, let Tyreek run after the catch. You can see he was looking for that the whole way. And I don't mind that. With a guy that fast, I'm throwing underneath stuff. That's what speed receivers are for. So we're going to play action here. Ends up dumping it down. Not sure what that design was. At first, I thought Tyreek was going to come underneath this, but he pivots back out. Falls a little. Maybe that was the throw they wanted. Got a guy streaking across the middle. Curl, or maybe that was supposed to be a curl. I wouldn't be shocked. I've seen that curl concept. And so yeah, anyway, ends up dumping it down. And again, that's one thing I would say about Mahomes, man. Like, you can't make those quick decisions if you don't know your options. He knows where to go. He knows the outlets. He knows the routes. And that's just all it is processing information quick. You see they're here, that means they can't be here. So we get another curl to Tyreek Hill. Just a rhythm throw. 3rd and 15. Now they're down by 10. Towards the end of the game, and that's when the heroics are going to start. So we got trips close. Travis isoed on the back end. Seen that formation a lot. And so one of the first explosive plays they got. So let's look at this. So again, we got trips. We got Tyreek Hill in the slot. So it looks like they sent 4. Oh, that's not Travis backside. My bad. That's a different tight end. So anyway, so everything's pushing vertical. It's looking like a 4 vert. And really what you got essentially is a very, very deep China. You're going to have Tyreek do a little nod to the inside. It's going to look like a post. So you call it post flag if you want. But he's going to eventually get to the flag route. And you got these two coming inside on a double post. And that's a long developing play, and it's very far downfield. As you can see that Tyreek had to wait on it, but that's tough. That's tough for a defense to defend, and they're in cover 3. So really this corner should have been there. He goes in on the post, which honestly, when you're looking at your linebacker there, you shouldn't be driving that post. You know he's there. But obviously he didn't see anything back there. That's tough. That is really tough on the defense. So let's look at what Mahomes and the O-line does, because they definitely have to put in some work to make that happen. So they chip on the edge. We got 4 rushing. They stunt. Eric Fisher picks up the stunt. So he's got good pocket. Just stands and delivers. Now, from the wide view, it looks like nothing's really open. So it makes sense he took that shot, but it might have been just him wanting to take a shot downfield. Either way, that sets up the big play. So 1st and 1. And we already know how the goal line boots go. Right over the corner. I mean, he had 2 options there. And it's interesting that the 49ers, as good as they are, weren't ready for that. That's like, I mean, but you see that all the time. That is like, how many defenses get beat on that? And that is what it is. All right, so 1st and 10, 5 minutes left, down 3. This is where they go on the game-winning drive. So trips ISO again. Kelsey's out there this time. So they just do a little bubble. Pick up some yards. So 1st and 10 again. Breaks a sack. That would have been huge. All right, so let's look at the concept. So we got trips again. We're going to see that curl. And the defense got to him. Bosa shrugged it off, delivered a play to his outlet. And it's just interesting to see. Maybe I'll talk about the curl stuff another time. But anyway, so 1st and 10 again. Trips. Do like a little hitch. And again, just really working the clock. Interesting, like, this is, you had to adapt as Andy Reid and the play callers and all that, because they really were choking your big plays away most of the game. And they had the pass rush where you couldn't really do some of the things that you would do to most teams. So instead of forcing it and being stubborn, they really did switch it up and let Tyreek Hill be an underneath receiver and more of a yak receiver. And just really small, methodical hits. Death by 1,000 cuts. Trips, play action. And that is just a beautiful pass. But we got ISO backside. And, good job by Sammy uncovering. Honestly, it looked like that's where they were going, which is interesting because I didn't see nothing else. Play action. Kelsey helps block. There's nothing really there. So maybe that's where they were looking to attack. Maybe he saw the safety roll over the top and knew he could look at that. His head goes there right away. So that's obviously a match that they wanted to get. As much as we like Richard Sherman and people call him elite, he was one of the reasons they missed on the big play. But 3rd and 5, trips, motion to 20 personnel, play action slide. And that's easy. That's easy peasy. How did they get that? Well, they blitzed. They blitz. Nobody's over there. Kelsey illegally blocking once again. Bro, come on. And I'm sure the 49ers did it. Again, it's not a Chiefs problem. But he's illegally blocking. That is literally illegal. But easy completion for Mahomes. A lot of distractions, a lot of weapons. And again, they just cheated. I hate that, bro. I really hate that. All right, so that's it. That's it for Mahomes and his completions. Yeah, kind of what we expect, or what I expected to see. Yeah, man. I think at the end of the day, that strong arm stuff can bail you out of a lot. But when you're in the big situations, big games, big defenses, it takes a lot of brain power as well. And just understanding where your options are and where to go. And, having those weapons don't hurt either. So anyway, go to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe. And thank you for listening.